Hi, welcome to ShanghaiEye. I'm Timothy Pope.
And I'm Chen Xuan.
Monday through Friday here on Dragon TV, we bring you stories to explore and decode China. And we'll focus a lot on Shanghai.
We'll look at business, tech, urban life, arts and culture and sports. And we're going to provide you with our top tips on work, study, life and travel in China.
Let's start with today's cover story, traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. It's gaining popularity around the world, with people using it alone or in combination with Western therapies to diagnose, treat and prevent illness. It takes many different forms, including herbal therapy, acupuncture, medication, physical exercise and massage. In recent years, more people from overseas have been coming to China to study TCM. So why is it gaining this kind of popularity worldwide? Well, my colleague Tang Xiaofan followed a group of overseas medical professionals and brought us their stories with TCM.
It was my first experience learning about TCM, and it's been absolutely fascinating.
Because it's so holistic, and it also brings in nature. It's scientific, but it also considers the world around us.
Although we've heard about it, to come here and to see it, to feel it, to experience it, to really get that rich understanding for myself is great.
Traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, is an extensive set of medical practices that date back more than 2,000 years in China. It has spread all over the world, luring more and more people overseas. At Longhua Hospital, a group of medical professionals from countries like France, Malaysia, Morocco, and South Africa are learning some TCM therapies.
French doctor Marc Mazard runs his own TCM clinic in France, specializing in acupuncture and Chinese herbs. Over the past 2 decades, he has been taking students from France to China to learn TCM at local hospitals each year in May.
We can join traditional medicine and modern medicine. I have a lot of research about this. You can now explain the Chinese medicine with the modern science. Very, very interesting.
Moroccan Hajar has been practicing TCM for 3 years, along with her father, who was the first acupuncturist in Morocco.
In our daily practice, we saw that if we work only with Western medicine, we kind of have this stop. We don't know how to treat people. With TCM, we found like there is an alternative solution with less, let's say, side effects. And that's why we try to combine both.
Some participants were experiencing TCM for the first time.
I tried acupuncture for the first time. They've treated my knee because I'm a hiker, and I injured my knee on the mountain in Cape Town. And yeah, it was amazing. And I do think that in South Africa, it could really be complementary to what we are doing in, with Western medicine.
The training program has attracted more than 750 medical experts from 46 countries and regions to experience TCM over the past 7 years. But that's only a small part of the overall number of people coming to China to learn TCM. Many overseas universities are also seeking cooperation with Chinese counterparts to open TCM courses for college students.
Taiki University will run a collaborative Bachelor of TCM with Shanghai University, where students will study 3 years in Malaysia and 2 years in Shanghai, where they will be in the hospitals and seeing the patients. Graduates of this program will have very good career opportunities, not only in Malaysia, but in our neighboring countries.
According to statistics from the National Administration of Traditional Chinese Medicine, TCM has spread to 196 countries and regions, giving it worldwide recognition. More than 40 foreign governments, regional authorities, and international organizations have signed TCM cooperation agreements with China. So why is traditional Chinese medicine gaining popularity?
People are living longer, so we're seeing a lot more chronic disease. There's also been an increasing shift in recent years for health and wellness. So with that comes in natural medicine, and I think acupuncture and Chinese medicine, with its rich history, has been part of the forefront of, I think, that movement, and people are starting to see the benefit of it.
The more I learn how wise this medicine is and how holistic it is, and how it treats so many things at the body, mind, heart-spirit level that just can't be replaced by anything else.
Western medicine alone cannot address the many health challenges that we are experiencing globally. It has been proven that Western medicine is not the answer, cannot only address. Therefore, we need to look at alternative ways. And I believe that both Western medicine and Chinese medicine together, we can address the real global issues in this world.
Hi, wow. Wow, that was fantastic, Aaron. What's it called?
That was actually a mixture of a couple Chinese martial arts styles. There was a little eagle claw in there and a little Shaolin style as well.
Wow, you definitely know a lot more about Chinese Kung Fu than I do. I know that you were actually born in the family full of doctors. So what made you come to China instead of staying back home, just follow family tradition?
Well, actually, there's a few doctors in my family, but really more a family full of medical professionals, mostly nurses, some doctors, like my cousin is a doctor, and even my father, he worked in the purchasing department at the local hospital, so all over the field. So as you noticed, I like Kung Fu, so I always knew I wanted to go into medicine, but then I started doing Kung Fu as a child. And then because of that, I was introduced to Tai Chi, which shares a lot of the same principles with Chinese medicine. So then I decided, I got this idea that I wanted to learn Chinese medicine.
Oh wow, but I mean, in the very first place, what made you want to learn Kung Fu? Was there any other family members very interested in things related to Chinese culture?
My mom put me in Taekwondo when I was a little kid, like many parents in China will as well. And then as I got older, I tried different martial arts, and I really fell in love with Chinese martial arts because they're so unique and different from any other style of martial art. I think every martial art has its own characteristics, but for me, Chinese martial arts are my favorite.
Yeah, because from earlier what you played, it was like both very powerful at the same time can be very soft. So it really is very different. I know that you're learning learning traditional Chinese medicine here in Shanghai. So what is like to studying here? And because there are 13,000 overseas students actually learning TCM worldwide. So does that mean you have a lot of classmates from your own country and other countries rather than just in China?
So what's it like to learn in Chinese medicine? Sort of like you were saying before, there's very smooth and beautiful parts, very fun, very entertaining, but also some very hard and difficult parts. For myself, I learned in Chinese, so that was very challenging. And there are English programs now throughout China as well, but the hardest part I think was learning in Chinese. And as for worldwide classmates, you can find people from everywhere, countries all over Africa, Europe, some from the US, Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, all over the place.
I'm very curious, what are the main subjects you have to learn? Do you have to go through all those classics, like we Chinese always know Li Shizhen, 本草纲目, things like that? Do you have to actually read through those very complicated, ancient written style of Chinese?
Yes, we have a preparatory class called Yiguwen, so ancient Chinese medicine literature. And as you know, there's thousands of text with Chinese medicine spanning its long history, over 2,000 years. But since we don't have time to learn every text in 5 years, even 20 years isn't enough, we focus on some major texts, the Huangdi Neijing, the Yale Emperor's Inner Canon, Shanghan Lun, the Treatise on Cold Damage, and like you said, Li Shizhen's Materia Medica, among others. So
Well, that must be very difficult. It's even really hard for Chinese. It's our first language. So what is your plan exactly after graduation? Will you bring TCM back to your country, and how popular exactly it is back in the US?
So actually, after graduation, I hope to stay in China and learn more, maybe take the licensing test here so I can practice medicine here, open my own clinic if I can. And besides that, I do want to help spread TCM worldwide, so that to the US and beyond.
So how are people accepting TCM back in the US? Do they believe in it? Will they actually want to try?
I think currently it's kind of a mixed bag. Some people believe it, some people don't, but I think it's trending more towards people are believing in it or willing to give it a try. Because of recent news and the recent past, the US healthcare system is more and more expensive and more complex. So I think US citizens are willing to give alternative forms of medicine a try. We call alternative medicine in the US. But I think from a global perspective, traditional medicine has a similar footing to help alleviate healthcare costs around the world and maybe even enlighten some new ideas for further research in modern medicine as well.
Well, thank you very much for sharing, and good luck with everything in the future, and hopefully you will bring TCM to more countries and to have people actually benefit from our deep-rooted Chinese culture.
Right.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Time for Shanghai A to Z now. From Monday to Friday, we're going to be providing this guide for foreigners who are new to Shanghai or for expats who live here. Today, we're going to look at how expat travellers can book railway tickets. In China, of course, railway travellers require real name authentication for purchasing and for check-in. Expat passengers can purchase real name tickets with a valid passport. Currently, both e-tickets and paper tickets are available. You can purchase train tickets directly from railway operators or their sales agencies. At present, the following channels are available. Firstly, ticket counters at railway stations or railway ticket agencies. Secondly, ticket machines that are installed at stations or other designated areas. And thirdly, the 12306 mobile app or website. This is the China Railway Customer Service Centre's website, and it has an English version too, so it's quite easy to use. A valid ID can be used to buy only one ticket for the same train on the same day of travel. However, if you're travelling with children who do not have valid ID cards, you can use the identity information of their accompanying adult to buy a child's ticket. Now it's time for the ShanghaiEye Q&A, where we search our socials and answer some of your questions. Today's question is food related. Alex asks, I'm flying from Bangkok to Moscow with an overnight transit stopover in Shanghai, and I want to bring tropical fruit from Bangkok to my relatives in Russia. Lucky them. If I leave the airport using a transit visa, will I encounter any issues at the airport? Are there any restrictions regarding fruit? Well, Alex, according to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs and the General Administration of Customs regulations, fresh fruit and vegetables are prohibited from being carried or sent into China. Actually, all live animals and fresh plants are prohibited, with dogs and cats being the only two exceptions. And of course, quarantine and vaccination certificates are required in order to take those with you. So if you plan on entering China on a transit visa, choose souvenirs that are not prohibited, or you'll be arriving at your final destination empty-handed. If you've got a question for us, you can find us on all the socials.
We'd love to hear from you. You can find all our content online as well, and join us here on Dragon TV Monday to Friday.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.